So here we are. I had to come down. The biggie, Pretoria Avenue. You can just about see there. Even Dan Kelly calls me the strange man by now, lurking in the dark. I haven't been up here for 3 or 4 days now, and I always love to do it live because it's a sense of adventure, isn't it? There might be nothing there. And just like Network Rail, it's never planned. Had to get that one in. Right, okay, the school here, this is Stony Down. You've got Stony Down Park. I'm just filling up the voices there. I was just looking, I came in there from, what's that? I can't remember now. Black Horse, was it? Only strangers roam around at night, which you need to be very careful of. So all the parks are closed. And this might be a complete damp squid, but I just had to come down here tonight because where I live on Queen's Road, it was all completely dead, and yet the pressure is on. It's dead for three hours or so. And we know that the track has got to be cleared out before the rail people can come in to do the track, to do the electrics. But there's an overwhelming problem here, and I thought I saw just now. Well, I definitely did. 3 crew buses of people coming in. Now, we know about this now. This is Pretoria. This bridge, by the way, was built exactly the same year as Bridge 70. It's amazing the way these Victorians shot it up. A lot of people, well, not a lot, a few people said that this wasn't Victorian because it was steel. But by the beginning of the 1890s, they were using steel, so they didn't have to use the keystone principle anymore. And everybody loves the painting, by the way, that the school kids did. I've had quite a few comments about that. Now that's easy. From there on, it's easy. I presume that station Black Horse is finished now. You know, it's not even. You'd need a few. That doesn't sound too healthy. Okay. Right. So just have this is Bridge 57, built in 1894. This was probably, there was no trains here at the time, so this steel probably came down. I don't know where the steel came from, but under the Arthur engineers, it may have come down by rail as far as some points, and they may even put the bridges in after the line was put in, which would make sense. But it's probably 140-year-old Sheffield steel there, definitely English, and they've obviously just put these on in the last 2 weeks or so. That, by the way, is scheduled to go up on its twin on Bridge 70. Well, it's supposed to be up last Saturday, but so far hasn't come up, which is good for me. We know all about this now. I won't film all this abomination. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. There's a FedEx van there. But if you look at the back, it's quite difficult to see because I got hypergain on. As I said before, I'd be better off with a Nikon in the. And if anybody wants a good camera, Nikon is definitely the best in my opinion. But I don't have one at the moment. Using my trusty old Sony Xperia. Oh, 2 Jenny. Oh, 3 Jennies. Crikey. Right, you probably can't see that, as I said, because of the. Well, I can shut up for a bit and you can hear them. There's 2. this is where you really do miss a good camera. And as I said, I've used them before. If anybody wants a good camera, definitely get a Nikon without a shadow of a doubt. Sony have got good sensors. I've had a few camcorders from Sony and they're good as well, but in my opinion, there we are, I've got a little bit there. I've put the hyper gain on maximum, I've got the flash on, but of course you're getting, excuse the delay and slightly weird thing, but I'm trying to get such a lot of layers on tonight. I'm having difficulty getting hold of my torch. Not that it would do a lot here. Right, got it. Yeah, it won't do a lot here, but yeah, that's interesting. They've got 1, 2, 3 Jenny's working, and we're now on 58. Don't forget, these are the legendary bridges that they had to lower on the Goblin, which makes it the hard bit. Between bridge 70 and bridge 57 is the hard bit. Everything else is, well, technically should be child's play. Oh, the roar of engines. These neighbours. Oh! So you've got 3 Jennies down there. Right. Oh, both working. Oh, actually not sure. Well, Stuart Payne will tell me that. I thought that may have been a twin Jenny box, but looks like it's probably one. I somehow thought I had to come down here. Somehow thought there'd be a flurry of activity now. Sounds like a perky or a cat in there. C9, but it's on quite low. It's a shame, since they put these in, right, you can't, this one's got a cover as well, you can't bloody film it. I don't want to step on anybody's property, especially when I know whose property it is. So we're on 58. As I said, excuse the lighting. Oh, actually this torch is working quite good. Okay, there's water flow there. It's quite an interesting thing here because the Walthamstow main sewers go, as I've explained before, under the old Victorian bridges, which is very highly integrated at a time when everything was not only owned privately but planned properly as well. So you don't get sewage pipes in the street and emergency drillings. That was interesting and really difficult to see now because of this stuff. keep it going, because see, they've cleared the track, but even, what was it, 3, 4 Jenny pumps can't keep up with the amount of water that's coming in here now. And if I was to give the game away, then I would, but excuse the fingerprints on the... If anybody wants to buy me a Christmas present, by the way, get me a decent Nikon. It's wet there. So they've had, I mean, anybody saw my last quote unquote report, whatever you want to call it, that was a waterlogged there, and what they've done is they've got in extra Jenny pumps and pumped it back into the Victorian main sewer that here it used to originally go to the Pump House Museum. Well, now the Pump House Museum, originally the Low Hall Victorian pumping station. And interestingly enough, when that was decommissioned and they put in an electric one next door, that failed, and there's 2 tanker lorries a day paid for by Thames picking that up when it rains. It's all about the rainfall really, but this is something else. This is not about rainfall. One final look. It's such a gorgeous bridge. It's been wrecked. I often want to take that off. See, and the end of the Industrial Revolution, this you can see water there. It's difficult because I've got to reach over. You can see it twinkling if you look carefully next to Jenny's, if you're in there. So there we go. That's an interesting one to look after. And by the way, when this line was put in, one of the reasons, anybody's interested, one of the reasons why this doesn't, a lot of people thought, why didn't they intersect it? It only came, the other one, Chingford Curve, came in 1872. This one came in 1894. And a lot of these houses recently built actually in 1888, so you're talking 6 years. Some of them weren't occupied, and they actually demolished them to put this line in because it was important for freight. You're talking, oh, you know, I'll say the end of the Industrial Revolution, but to be honest with you, you'll imagine yourself in full pelt of the Industrial Revolution, right? The amount of manpower to put that cutting in, as Mr. Bigland correctly said, that it is all taken out by, that's cuttings all the way through there under these 5 bridges, to put that in, and yet it was all completed within 4 years. Absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. And the reason why it doesn't intersect with the Chingford Curve is because this was built as a freight line. Absolutely amazing, amazing. I mean, that, to think about that brick there is a London yellow clay stock. That is over 140 years old. It's pointless me waving a camera around in the dark now, but it's interesting to see that there is activity here tonight. Okay, that is it from your essential nightly rail on Bridge 58.